Okay, I had my fun. As you can tell, probably from the intro, that today I am reviewing Godzilla. Also by the title, of course. Uh, I've always loved Godzilla a lot. As you can see, this toy is actually older than me. Most of the time, I usually have these toys from my childhood, of course, and this is no exception. This is one of the ones that I got when I was very little. I actually don't remember the first Godzilla movie I ever watched. I'm pretty sure it was Mothra on Godzilla, but I could be wrong. The one I remember watching, the first one, is Godzilla vs. Gigan. That one I actually had on VHS, and that was my first Godzilla movie. So, strictly to say, I do love Godzilla. And I should probably look at the camera instead of the screen. But yeah, this little guy, I got lucky with him because I had him when I was little, and for some reason I thought, hey, he's Godzilla. He should live in the jungle. He's usually in the jungle. He fights in the jungle. So I had put him in my grandmother's garden at the time and lost him for a while, which kind of represents, I guess you could say, like this movie, because it took me a good 10 years, just like this movie, where it's been 10 years since the last Godzilla movie. You got to think about that. Um, that's pretty interesting. Toho Studios. This is a Toho Studio Godzilla movie, not like the old Godzilla. The American Zilla that they call him now. He's actually canon now in the Godzilla franchise. If you're not sure about that, see Godzilla Final Wars. But yes, like this is a Toho Studio backed, and is very faithful to the old Godzilla, movies. It's definitely, has that creatures. I believe the monsters in this one. So yeah, Godzilla first off is not the only monster in this movie. You've seen the trailers. You probably noticed there is a flying monster. Duh. Of course there's another one. We can't do the same thing like they did with the American version, where it's just people versus Godzilla, or like the first two ones. Um, he has to fight someone, and this time he fights two monsters. To say, I don't think that's spoiling anything, because if we pay attention to the trailer enough, you'll notice there are two monsters, especially the last few trailers that they released. So, first off, let's talk about the actors. The actors are very good. Bryan Cranston, of course. I'm sure a lot of people are coming to this movie just to see Bryan Cranston, and that's what I heard when I saw it from the audience. People, said he was the major draw, besides, of course, Godzilla coming back after 10-year hiatus. And Godzilla is pretty interesting, too. He's definitely, different from my Godzilla. A lot of, people say he's chubby Godzilla, which he's not chubby, he's fluffy, coming from a fluffy enthusiast. But, yeah, it's definitely, he's not, this trim, of course, because it's not a person in the costume. He's totally CG, this time, not around. He's not just just a man in a costume, or a woman, to say. We don't know. Most of the time it is a man, but still. So the story is really good, actually. It does a little flashback, tells how like Godzilla was kind of made, the whole A-bomb testings and stuff like that, as well as, a time later, and then he gives, Bryan Cranston is the main star, and he actually, gives a reason to him, and there's a lot of people in this movie that they followed, a lot of the main characters that they follow, that they give them reasons to hunt Godzilla, or to go after Godzilla, or to just be around Godzilla, whether it's helping Godzilla, or hurting Godzilla, stuff like that. Everyone's been affected, which is interesting. I like it. It's a more personal touch. They kind of have their vendettas. What else? Yeah, definitely see what this is audience. I was surprised when I went. It wasn't a smaller theater. It wasn't like the Marvel ones. I'm sure tomorrow, because I went to early showing today at 7 p.m. So that's why this video is going up a little bit earlier than normal. And it was good. I liked the movie a lot. I was very satisfied, especially as a Godzilla fan. The story was really good. The pacing was really good. The actors were very good. You know, I didn't feel like anyone wasn't trying. Everyone was trying. So that's always a good thing, you know, to have in a movie, of course. Especially when you do have some new characters or new actors or actors that aren't known that well, you know, through the industry and everything. So it is good to see that everyone tried. uh, the story was good. You know, it does feel a very like a Godzilla movie. You know, if you remember all the old Godzilla movies, you know Godzilla really doesn't show up until about, you know, at least a third into the movie or so, and it's true for this one. I mean, they do little glimpses here and there, kind of like, you know, just like that teasers kind of thing. You know, it's like he's coming, it's gonna be awesome, and then when he does show up, and he, you know, has the full view of him and everything, and he squares off with the first monster. Um, you know, for the first time, it's pretty awesome. I mean, the crowd just went nuts because you get to see him, and then he does his roar, which I'm glad it's not changed too much. You know, a lot of times when they remake these, they change a lot, and this time they kept it pretty classic. They did add a little bit extra. I guess I don't know what they added. It was a little different. I mean, it was its own roar, and I guess every roar, you know, has it been its own, at least, you know, through the decades. Um, but yeah, like it was pretty awesome, especially during the final fight and everything. The humans, you know, are going, doing their thing, and then Godzilla's doing his thing, fighting the monster, and it's pretty awesome to say. Like, to go, just the way that they blended it very well, because, you know, the humans have to go somewhere, and, you know, instead of showing them, they're showing Godzilla fighting, you know, and then when Godzilla's kind of, you know, either, you know, down, or he's, you know, in a pickle, or he's got the upper hand, they kind of go back to the humans, and you don't really miss much. You know, it's not like, you know, Pacific Rim or anything like that, where it's just focused on the robot fighting, because it's not. You know, the humans are also part of this movie too. But you look at all the Godzilla movies, the humans always play a major part in it. So this one's no different. That's why I liked it a lot. I really loved it. Uh, I really can't think of anything bad to say about it. And if I do, I'm really nitpicking, because everything was pretty awesome. Like I said, the pace is good. Actors are great. Story is great. I mean, it's very classic, but very modern now. Uh, a few surprises. I mean, some people, when I was in the audience, they were surprised about it. I don't want to say what they were surprised about, but I'm pretty sure when you go see it, you will figure it out. What else? Godzilla. I will say Godzilla does use his atomic breath, which is awesome. I mean, that's what everyone waits for, and it's, you know, it's pretty awesome when he does use it. What else? The graphics, the CG, and everything was pretty awesome. The fight scenes, they really actually go to quite a few places to fight or to, you know, investigate and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. It's not just, you know, the old Godzilla movies were just placed in Japan mostly. You know, maybe a surrounding area, but, you know, they're mostly Japan. I mean, Godzilla Final Wars, they did go to different cities and stuff, but they were just there for like a battle arena. They really weren't there to, you know, stay or help or figure stuff out while they're there. What else? What else? I'm trying to think. It's just an awesome movie. I'm probably gonna see it again. As much as I do love Godzilla, I'm probably definitely gonna see this again. I know a couple of my friends will want to see it. I do recommend it highly. I know that my videos don't get that high of views, but if you do watch this, I do recommend you go see it. It's definitely not worth. It's definitely worth the money, just because you get that bass, you get that atmospheric, you know, feel when you're in the theater with this movie. It's not something that's just, you know, on a bigger screen. That's, you know, with some movies. You know, this one is definitely worth it, and I hope it does really well. Our theater was packed, so I am hopeful that this will do at least above 50 million. So, until next time, guys. Next week will be X-Men. So, I look forward to that, guys. Later.